Hello everyone, good evening. Hi, my name is Bodge. I'm from the Philippines. Yeah, I've been living in China for 6 years. I always start with that. So anyway, foreigners who take taxi and talk to taxi drivers. Yeah, usually the most interesting conversation I have would be with taxi drivers. So talk about censorship. I took a cab and I spoke with this guy. They usually start by saying, they look at me and then they couldn't decide if I'm Chinese or not. So they would ask, so I would say I'm from the Philippines. So one night, the guy said, Philippine, huh? I just kept driving and then, 我们什么时候开战? He said, for those who didn't understand, I said, when do we start the war? So I said, what do you mean? I don't know what you meant. Because I probably have an idea, but anyway. 开战就是开战，我们国家什么时候开战? When do we start? So I said, I really don't know, 不知道你的意思是什么. So I just said, I don't know what you're talking about. You know, I'll just speak English from here on. So he said, well, actually it sounds funny in Chinese. He said, 知道吗? 所有国家，包括美国、菲律宾，他们不敢打中国. They wouldn't. They said a lot of countries, including the U.S., the Philippines, will never dare to start, war with China. So I thought it was, thanks to my training when I was working in the Philippine embassy, there are just some cases like this where there are things that you should do or you should not do. So one of the things I usually just don't entertain it. But the guy seemed very friendly because he was smiling. You know why? They wouldn't start war with us? So he said, because there's a lot of poor and hungry people in China. If they win the war against China, they wouldn't feed these. So they will not be interested in fighting with China. So far, that's the best reason I had in my list for not having war with China. So usually interesting things like these. That's why I always like talking to taxi drivers. So anyway, I don't want to contradict my topic last Thursday because I was saying that Philippines and China are old friends. I'm talking about war. Which, by the way, when we finished that conversation, the driver said, 你知道为什么要开战吗? He actually didn't know why there was a war. He just heard it in the news. So anyway, so let's just talk about something else that maybe other people could relate to. Last weekend, I had a horrible time in bed. Oh God, that sounds bad. I had a horrible time in bed because I was sick. Okay? Well, anyway, I was coughing for 2 weeks. Finally, I went to the hospital in PKU because that's the only hospital covered by my medical insurance for the scholarship. So, anyway, the line is always long. I guess everybody could agree. You're already sick, you're alone, and they still ask you to get the number. And then when you get there, because in my country, the basic things you do is check the temperature, blood pressure, everything else, just the basics. But I had to wait for about an hour before that's done to me. So the doctor said, go back to the first floor and get your temperature T1. So I get to the counter, and then there's the nurse. He gave me this thermometer that's just sitting there on the desk, and I said, can you give me a clean one? 有干净的吗? 同学，这个是干净的. This is clean. I came here and it's there. I don't know how many people, So, and by the way, it would be nice for you to try, even if you speak Chinese, it would be best to speak in English. For some reason, they will treat you nicer if they know you're a foreigner. So anyway, this is clean. So I said, I'm already sick. What else? What's the worst thing that could happen? So I just went there. So she was pissed 5 minutes, and then she said, you're not sick. your temperature is only 36.9. This is 36.9, which for the doctor and for the nurse, they said technically you're not sick yet because you're sick if you have 37. So, and then the doctor said, just to be sure you're really sick, let's get some blood sample. So I went to the guy who's taking my blood, and then he's not wearing any gloves. So there's a line there, and then he's just taking blood from people, and he's not wearing gloves, and I was just really scared. So I said, 你可以用手套吗？手套? I said, gloves? No, 没关系, No, please, it's for your safety. No, 没关系, 我相信你的. I trust you, he said. You trust me for what? 你没有 AIDS 吧? That's what he told me, you know? So, yeah, you can trust me, I don't have AIDS, but I don't trust you, I said. Okay, I didn't say that, of course. But again, I'm already sick. What's the worst thing that could happen? So the guy took my blood, just stabbed it, and then the blood started dripping, and still, he's not afraid of it. He almost touched my blood, but again, I don't know. So anyway, the reason why I'm telling these things is because, well, they're not really supposed to be censored. It's just basic needs. I'm not asking for anything luxurious. Just nice thermometer that can be wiped, or at least you wipe it in front of your patients, I mean, and then so they'd be happy to put it there. And yeah, just I don't know, somebody who wears gloves in the hospital. I guess everybody could relate. Everybody's sick. Don't get sick in China. Okay, that's all. Thanks. Thanks so much.